We all see our lives as stories, it seems to me, and I am convinced that psychologists and sociologists and historians and so on would find it useful to acknowledge that.
This is a tale of a meeting of two lonesome, skinny, fairly old white men on a planet which was dying fast. One of them was a science fiction writer named Kilgore Trout. He was a nobody at the time, and he supposed his life was over. He was mistaken. As a consequence of the meeting, he became one of the most beloved and respected human beings in history. The man he met was an automobile dealer, a Pontiac dealer named Dwayne Hoover. Dwayne Hoover was on the brink of going insane. There were 1 quadrillion nations in the universe, but the nation Dwayne Hoover and Kilgore Trout belonged to was the only one with a national anthem which was gibberish sprinkled with question marks. The motto of Dwayne Hoover's and Kilgore Trout's nation was this, which meant in a language nobody spoke anymore, out of many, one, e pluribus unum.
I am embarrassed. We are all embarrassed. We Americans have guided our destinies so clumsily, with all the world watching, that we must now protect ourselves against our own government and our own industries.
I looked through a Gideon Bible one time for tales of great destruction. The sun was risen upon the earth when Lot entered unto Zoar, I read. Then the Lord rained upon Sodom and upon Gomorrah brimstone and fire from the Lord out of heaven. And he overthrew these cities, and all the plain, and all the inhabitants of the cities, and that which grew upon the ground. So it goes. Those were vile people in both those cities, as is well known. The world was better off without them. And Lot's wife, of course, was told not to look back where all those people and their homes had been. But she did look back, and I love her for that, because it was so human. So she was turned to a pillar of salt. So it goes. Listen, Billy Pilgrim has come unstuck in time. Billy has gone to sleep, a senile widower, and awakened on his wedding day. He's walked through a door in 1955 and come out another one in 1941. He's gone back through that door to find himself in 1963. He's seen his birth and his death many times, he says, and pays random visits to all the events in between. He says, Billy is spastic in time, has no control over where he is going next, and the trips aren't necessarily fun. He's in a constant state of stage fright, he says, because he never knows what part of his life he is going to have to act in next.
The moral of the story, which I say didactically, is we are what we pretend to be, so we must be careful what we pretend to be. And on a much more trivial level, I've known people in advertising, or public relations, or publicity, or whatever, representing terrible clowns, dictators or whatever, but what they're able to say to themselves is, this wasn't really me.
Yeah.
The real me is inside. And all German.
I may be doing the dictator's bidding, but it's not me.
Yeah, and everybody knows who I really am and how I feel, but all of Germany, as people my age who were in World War II, are saying one way or another, that wasn't really me. I'm the person who loves children, flowers, and music. And a hell of a lot of people all over the world have been involved in atrocities who say, well, it wasn't really me.